Next the mares, Champagne Jezebel, clear from Yorkshire, Torfland's Melody, Champagne in front of Jezebel, Persian Punch and Torfland's Melody, Champagne and Jezebel, Jezebel's fighting back on the rails and won the cup. Jezebel fought back to win.
Chris Muntz, one of the smallest men in the jockeys' ranks. Today he is Little Big Man.
The Battle of the Empire is over. And what a cup. Jezebel and Champagne fighting to the line. What a day for the mares.
I love you, Tom.
And now it's the fillies' turn in the Crown VRC Oaks, a race day that has become a sporting phenomenon. What is it about Oaks Day that makes it so special? It's a day of flutters and fluttering, of fashion and passion, winning and grinning, and losing and schmoozing. It's the perfect follow-up to Cup Day with some serious racing, set amid some serious fun.
Kensington Palace has the Oaks won for Lee Friedman and Damien Oliver. The favourite does it again.
Last year, a filly with a royal name and a royal nature stole the prize. Today, it may be a rose from a stable of dames. Whichever way it goes, you'll see all the colour and glamour here on Network 10.
Away they go. The gates have crashed back and the big one is underway. As they come down the straight the first time. It's going up to the outside of 2,000 metres left to travel.
Good morning and welcome once again to Flemington, Australia's international racecourse. It's about 48 hours on from Cup Day and the hangovers should have subsided, perhaps unless you relied a little too much on Champagne. There'll be plenty of that flowing today though, as this is Ladies' Day and the running of the Crown VRC Oaks. You know, in recent years, the popularity of this day has absolutely soared with record crowds, and I'm sure we're in for that again today. You know, it's a day of high fashion, and the picnic baskets are usually out in force on the famous Flemington lawns. The forecast for today, clouds clearing and a top of 20 degrees, but I can guarantee you we're in for a nicer day than that. It's much, much warmer. The first race is about 17 minutes away, so let's get proceedings underway with a very good morning to Peter Donegan.
Good morning to you, Sandra. Good morning, everyone. And while you're down there, Sandy, I think we are going to be in for a record crowd today. I think it's going to be up around the 80,000 mark because there's already a multitude of people on the lawns.
Judging by the crowds that have already gathered, Peter, I think they're in for a long but fun day. I think we will reach that record mark.
Yeah, the champagne corks are already popping. Sandra will catch up with you when you get to the marquee later in the afternoon.
Look forward to it. See you then.
Sandra Sully joining us from down in the mounting yard. And yes, welcome everyone to our telecast of the third day of the Melbourne Cup Carnival for 1998 Crown VRC Oaks Day. After a wonderful Derby day, a magnificent Melbourne Cup Day, we're looking forward to one of the great days of racing. And joining me, having recovered from the Melbourne Cup, Jenny Chapman, Richard Friedman, John Letts, good morning to you.
Morning, Pete.
Good morning, Pete.
Good morning, Peter.
Thanks for being in unison there. Jen, it was a marvellous Melbourne Cup Day.
Oh, it was fantastic, Peter, and the crowd really enjoyed themselves. There was a lot here still till late on Tuesday night, but I'm sure that they would have had a great day.
Rich, a bittersweet Melbourne Cup for the Friedman stable because the old war horse has run his last race.
Yeah, he's Doremus, he's retired now, Pete, so you know, that's the last race we'll see Doremus in. I think he goes back to New Zealand on Sunday and lives out the rest of his days.
Johnny Letts, what was it like to be out there in front of 100,607 people?
It was fantastic, and I think, Peter, looking at the Melbourne Cup, we've done a lot now. This was one of the most popular ones because of Chris Muntz and because of Jezebel, and you could just feel it. It was a very, very popular win.
And it was a very special moment as Chris Muntz came back to scale on Jezebel when he spoke with John Letts, and I'm very happy to say the Melbourne Cup winning jockey has joined us in the studio. Chris Muntz, mate, congratulations.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks very much.
Has it sunk in yet?
Well, a little bit. Yeah, I still haven't had a real good chance to sit down and watch the race and probably when I get to watch the replay it might then.
You were just saying when you saw our opener going to air that you got the tingle up the spine again.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the first time I've actually had a chance to see the photo finish, or the fighting finish between Champagne and Jezebel, and yeah, it brought goosebumps along.
Let's have a look at it from up above from the Whitman's lightship. And Jen, this was a stirring battle, but definitely when they came past us, Champagne was going to win the Melbourne Cup.
Well, for sure, and you can see she's in front there by about a long neck, and Chris, run us through the last part.
Well, I just basically didn't give up on my mare because I knew that at the end of 2 mile how strong my mare would be, and I always had in the back of my mind that Champagne may have been a doubt at running a strong 2 mile, and that was probably the main inspiration that kept me trying.
Now, Chris, were there any moments in the race, any funny little moments in the running of the race that you can share with us?
Well, I mean, in Melbourne Cup there's not too many funny incidents, but I mean I had a bit of a chuckle to myself as we went around probably about the mile marker, and Persian Punch was out 4 deep with Richard Quinn riding him along, and he was just riding him along on a loose rein and happy to be out there out of trouble. So I just thought it was a bit strange.
Here they are at the 400 metre mark in the home straight. And let's see, this must be a time where a little bit of patience is called upon. You know you can't go too early.
Chris, when she raced past you, when Champagne raced past you, she raced past you very quickly, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
And it looked like it was all over.
Well, it did. I suppose in one sense it did look that way, but like I said earlier, I didn't want to give up on my mare too quick.
Something that I just noticed on the replay a moment ago was when the red part of the running rail comes up, which is 50 metres from the winning post, do you think your mare's seen that and said, I've got to go again? Because that's where she started to draw ground again on Champagne. You just watch the replay here. She is holding you there, and when you get to the red part of the running rail, which is the 50 metre mark, I think he said, now I've got to go, because she's really put in a couple of deep strides there, didn't she?
Yeah, she did dig deep, and I mean, it was just a gutsy effort.
Chris, a lot of people probably wouldn't know your record in distance races. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Oh, well, I suppose I've been a bit lucky. I've ridden 3 Brisbane Cup winners, and I've been placed in the Sydney Cup and now a Melbourne Cup, as well as a Metropolitan and a few other long races.
I know a lot of trainers do consider you one of the best distance riders there is here in Australia.
Yeah, well, I don't know really if there's anything special about it. I just do like riding in the longer races, and it's something I've always been good at.
Well, not only have you won the Melbourne Cup and you're now going to be a household name in Australia throughout history, but you've also broken the world record for the number of radio and television interviews that you can possibly do in 48 hours. Is there any program you haven't been on?
I tell you, I'm nearly hoarse from talking. I think the amount of radio interviews I've done.
And what about back to business today? How many rides?
Yeah, I've got 4 rides today, which is nice. I had 8 on Tuesday, and it was probably a little bit too many on a hot day like that, but I sort of stuck it out, but I'm glad I've only got 4 today.
Stay with us for a sec, Chrissy. We'll have a look at the scratchings for today's program here on Crown Oaks Day. And the first event is clear of scratchings, and that is the Dr. Lee Wins Private Formula Sprint. So no scratchings in a field of 11 in race 1. Race 2, the Cadbury Favourites Handicap. Scratching is number 17, Manawa 2, number 17 out of the second. Race number 3 on the card is the Emirates Classic at 12:40. We've got 1 scratching here, number 5, Coltar, so it's only a small but select field of 5. Race 4, the Maya Plate. This is the race for the Greys. There are no scratchings, and 14 will be going around. The Cadbury Rosa Stakes, race 5 at 2 o'clock. Take out number 3, Compulsion. Number 3 out, leaving a field of 10. Big one of the day is the Crown Oaks race number 6 at 2:45 Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Number 10, No Alimony, is the withdrawal. Over we go to race 7 on the card, the Siemens Mobile Stakes at 3:25. Scratchings, just the one of them. Number 1, Special Edition, 15 running. Race 8 on the card, the Women's Day Cup at 4:05. And here you can take out number 17, Past Master, 18, Sundust, and 19, Andre Stad, 17, 18 and 19. And from the final event on the card, the Moet and Chandon 1400 at 4:45. Scratchings are 13, Jingle Bells, 15, Purbright, and 16, Bohemian Melody. Oaks Totes, here they are for the big one today. Danelaw at $5.80 has come up pretty good value. Grand Archway $8.90, also good value. Toy Carousel, the Carbine Club winner $14.50. Confer $7.40. Carmen S24, Rose of War $7.70. Rose of Dane surprisingly has come up a very warm favourite really at $4. And then you've got good odds about the rest of them. But significantly, Zaza Bell, number 12 down the bottom, is at $8.60. So there are the tote figures for the big one of the day, the Crown VRC Oaks. We saw an incredible betting plunge landed when Chris booted home Jezebel in the Foster's Melbourne Cup on Tuesday. I wonder whether we'll see a repetition today in the Crown Oaks or one of the other 8 races on the card. Joining us from the betting ring to give us all of the information, as he did on Melbourne Cup Day, is Big Tim Gossage. Morning, Tim.
Yeah, good morning, Peter. Good morning, everyone. Slightly battered and bruised, the bookies today, but they're a tough breed. They're back on their stands, ready to take take on the punters, and it's going to be a wonderful betting race, the Oaks, and judging by the early market, the Freedmans are going to trifecta the race because they are standout. Danelaar, Rose of Dane and Rose of War are all 7-2 in the bookmakers ring. Grand Archway, Toy Carousel and Confer considered the best of the rest. It's a wonderful day on Cup Day. I don't know if we'll see such a big plunge, but I'm looking forward to the battle between the bookies and the punters.
As we all are. Thanks very much to Tim Gossage, who'll be joining us right throughout the day. Well, you've got your real job to go to, haven't you? Berkhamsted you're riding in the second. Have you got one today that someone should have something each way on?
I actually, I like the filly I'm riding, the Oaks. I mean,
Curio Jade.
She was quoted as a long price, basically no hoper yesterday, but she's come up quite short on the tote this morning, and I mean, it's a very open Oaks race. I think whatever has luck in running can win, and I think she's got a great chance.
She didn't have a great deal of luck there, did she, in the Wakeful?
No, she didn't. She got back to the tail of the field and back on the fence, and I did get a quick run between them, but I didn't have a lot of galloping there.
Maybe you might get the chance of getting your hands on that trophy. We just saw the Crown Oaks trophy. Again, congratulations, Chris, and thanks for everything you've done for the media too over the last 48 hours. You've been a worthy winner. Well done.
That's great. Thanks very much, Pete. I'd like to thank everybody in Melbourne too for the great support that I've had since I've been down here. It's really been overwhelming. It's certainly built my confidence up the night before the Cup, and I'm just thankful for everyone.
Good on you, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Chris Muntz, the Melbourne Cup winning jockey. Let's take our first break on a Crown Oaks Day telecast. As we do, Milton Black's prognostications for Ladies' Day here at Flemington.